Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Scout's Eye. I'm Bryan Broaddus, along with my number one scout, Voch Lombardi. Voch, I'll tell you what, man. There's been a lot going on with your football team. You played a football game against Arizona Cardinals, and you've made a couple of trades, and I think you're going to dive into that lab, and you're going to tell us all about these things, right?
Man, I tell you what, Bryan Broaddus from over there on your side of the mothership, I can almost make an argument that these trades made our day a little better.
Okay.
Because that Arizona Cardinals game was some nonsense. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I did see some interesting things in
Sure.
the Cardinals game. I'm going to touch on some of that, and I'm going to definitely, talk about some of the guys that we brought to the party and some things that they bring to the table. And maybe, Bryan, at the end of this thing, how we can make it all work. That's a common conversation.
I would love that.
You know what I'm saying? Is going on in the world right now. How do we make these three tackles work? So we're going to break all that down a little bit. But right now, Bryan Broaddus, I want to talk about the Cowboys offense, man. I think one thing that we're constantly going back to, in regards to Cowboys offense is when we can't run the football anymore, we're a totally different offense.
Yeah.
And it's not like other people stopping us from running the football. It's just like, damn, game flow. We just got to stop running the football here. But I just wanted to show this play. First quarter, we was kicking their ass in the run game, Bryan. I just want to talk about Cooper Beebe and some of the work that he did there. Cooper Beebe returned, and one thing that we was missing is movement of bodies, first of all, and then that second level work, right? Shouts out to Brock, man. He moved solid, but that second level work, Beebe was really getting a good hand at it. Bryan, I want you to see the damn tunnel that was created for Williams here. They got some interesting things going front side. I'm going to talk about that a little bit after, but I want to get to this point right here, Bryan. We got some boom, some work there, and we're going to let this go bam, bam, bam. You can almost see Beebe kind of going, all right, I'm going to keep my right hand there just to continue to help Booker a little bit, but my eyes, right? Beebe's eyes are working right at number 2. I think that's an important part, Bryan.
Sure.
As an offensive lineman, your eyes are just as important as the rest of your body. So you see Beebe's eyes right here. He's going, all right, player, you're the next destination there, boom, 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 and boy, you just saw like this little lane. And shouts out to Williams here. He just saw it, bam, bam, bam. And what you see is this little crease right here, Bryan Broaddus. You see this little crease right there.
Yeah.
You see the little guys over there. That's Flo, I believe, over there doing this thing. You see TG right there, Big Tyler up there setting it up, and I'm like, man, this is what we've been missing.
Right.
And Bryan, I honestly feel like the Cowboys could have done this all day.
Yeah.
They could have done this stuff all day. I think they were moving guys around. They were thumping dudes. Javonte Williams was just running hard, Bryan. But you can't stand those run game looks because the defense is giving up points at an alarming rate.
Can you go back to the part where we got when you got Beebe with his hand helping Booker?
Gotcha.
And I think this is where we missed right there. This is where I think you missed it with Hoffman.
Yes, sir.
Hoffman didn't have the ability to help the guards like he needed, because he's thinking, I've got to get up.
I got to go.
I don't have time, and I'm not powerful enough to be able to move and hold a guy in place to get the guards in position. I think this is where the Cowboys have struggled some in the run game. We go back to the Carolina game, go back to a little bit in the Denver game as well. That ability not to hold guys in place to allow the blocks to set up. I think they've missed that with not having Booker in there and not having Beebe in there as well.
Sure, 100%, Bryan. Let me ask you a question, Bryan. I want you to take a look at Guyton and the tight end block that's over. I believe that's Ferguson. I want everybody to kind of hyper-focus on these guys. This is one of my questions for the day. Bryan, what you think the purpose of Guyton's movement here? What you think that was for? What do you think that was for? Because what we could have easily done, Bryan, is we could have just, let me get right here. What we could have done is just Jake Ferguson, like, best release.
Yeah.
And then Guyton could have just bam, bam.
Right.
But instead, it was like a short pull, Bryan. They used to call them short pulls.
Short pull, right.
Instead, he get a short pull, and then we get a climb there. Bryan, why you think that was the decision here?
I kind of feel like, to me, that it's really all about maybe a little bit better angle.
Maybe.
Maybe the angle, because if you do, you get that kick out block right there. Mm-hmm. I think that maybe the ball was supposed to go off the tackle there, maybe off Guyton.
Sure.
But Williams saw it. There was such good blocking inside between Booker and Beebe that look at his eyes. Look at Williams' eyes right now. He's looking at outside there. I mean, he's not really focusing at Dak. He's looking to the outside to see what's happening with that block.
Yeah.
And now he sees it, but then he feels what's going on inside. So when you look at Smith, Smith gets turned. So usually you try and stay square, but when Smith's butt's in the hole,
Sure.
that's where you go. That's where you just go right there. If it's square, it's a two-way go. He can either go outside or inside. But when his rear turned to the inside, that's where he knew he needed to go. But I think it was the block on the backside that got Williams. But to your point, I think they were trying to run this ball on the outside on the kick out, but give Ferguson a little bit better angle to go inside.
I got a theory, Bryan Broaddus. I think, and this could just me be, hyping up Clayton Adams and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's a sicko. Brian, I think this is an interesting way to deal with these odd fronts.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the amount of distance between this character right here and this character right here, that's a lot of space.
A lot of space.
So in my mind, think of it like counter, right? Our job in counter, let's do this. Our job in counter, let's just say hypothetically, everybody, if this was counter, is to pull and kick
and to
this
pull
guy
the kick, yeah.
and kick him in that direction. That's the point of counter. Think of this like a shorter counter almost, right? Because it's so much space between these guys.
Right.
Our job is to kind of take this character and move him in that direction further away.
Right.
So your theory is maybe the ball's going outside.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we're just trying to counter to make even more space in the middle. And, of course, we get Big Tyler right here assaulting a man.
Yeah, you could also feel like that maybe that outside guy for the Cardinals is thinking that Ferguson's going to take a step out. Sure. So if you kind of widen him, I'm surprised he didn't give him a little head fake. Usually you'll get the guy to work outside and then go inside and then trap him that way. But boy, that's a good looking play. That's well blocked right there.
Good looking play, man. Personnel made that happen. I think these are some of the things. I wonder if Clayton Adams has talked to Shotty about taking certain runs out of the playbook when they don't have their full complement of offensive linemen, Brian.
Very well could be. Very well could be, yeah.
Man, Brian, we got a new dude on the squad, man. We got a new cat up in here.
Yeah, Logan Wilson.
Logan Wilson from the Cincinnati Bengals. We could talk about him later on in another podcast, Bryan Broaddus. But I think one thing that he brings to the party is I think he's a really interesting dude in the passing game.
There you go.
That's particularly important, Brian, because we ain't got good guys in the passing game, right?
I agree.
Take a look at him here. He's going to read everything up front, identify, and it's a very small nuance that he's going to bring to the table that makes him different than guys that we have right now. He's just going to read everything in front of him, get behind him, bam, make the play on the football.
Oh, there
Brian,
you go.
I want to tell you why he made a play on the football. Let me see. We're going to get to this point right here. Bam, bam, bam. He's reading what's happening in front of him.
Sure.
He sees a fake play action, all this kind of stuff. He saw a motion go this way.
Right.
Window dressing. He's identifying what's
trying to maybe move him a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another one is keys he could be looking for, Brian. Let me just bring this back a little bit. I know that the motion guy could be a key, but that's, you know what I mean? I'll just get in this situation. Another key that he's looking for is he sees quarterback shoulders.
Right.
Quarterback shoulders kind of point him in that direction. That's a little bit of a key for us, a little bit of a tell. Okay,
sure.
Are y'all going in that direction? All right, cool. Now he sees pass. What he immediately does, Brian, let me not even talk about what he does. What a current Cowboy linebacker would do
is freeze.
Is yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
They'll stop moving.
Yeah.
Or they'll just stay flat.
Yep.
See my arrow right here? They'll just stay flat. What Wilson is doing is he's going, okay, it's pass. He's going to gain ground immediately.
There you go.
Bryan Broaddus.
Yeah.
He's going to immediately start moving, and he's going to gain more depth.
Right.
The one thing that we say about current Cowboy linebackers is that they never get enough depth.
Never get enough depth.
That's because they don't move immediately and they don't go backwards. You see Logan Wilson immediately, as soon as he identifies pass, back, and I'm going depth. So then he can make a play on the football.
Yeah.
It's a game of inches.
Right.
And he got just enough hand on the ball, Bryan Broaddus.
Right.
If he would have been a step late, if he would have froze, and if he didn't get enough depth, that would have been a completion.
I think that the thing, and I love what you pointed out here, because if he stays flat, like we've seen Cowboy linebackers this season, he's not getting to that ball.
He ain't getting it because they'll just throw it over him.
Yeah, and then even if they're staying flat and they dive, they're not getting there. You got to get the direction and you got to get the depth, and that's a great example of it right there.
Because look, coaches will teach this like depth doesn't hurt.
Right.
Because if something is in front of you, you could just drive and just go in front of you.
Right.
If it's behind you, you ain't turning and running faster than the ball can get there. So he just has a better feel as a coverage guy, or just a better feel about being a guy out of opens. Immediately I'm going back. Immediately. And just making just enough play. Brian, if he just stood still just a second.
Which we've seen. Yeah, we've seen that, yeah.
He'd have missed that damn football.
So to me, okay, one of the reasons why that you have a guy like this is because of as much zone coverage as you play with your linebackers, and then the fact that maybe it helps you a little bit more with your underneath stuff.
I think he's going to fit right in, Bryan Broaddus.
Yeah.
I think he's going to fit right in.
Yeah.
Even, take a look at him in the run game right here. He's going to diagnose things quickly. And I just want to note, he's not just standing around.
Right.
Like he's going to see it, trigger, go on, I'm downhill.
Yep.
I'm downhill. I think that's so important. And honestly, Brian, the Logan Wilson situation, like by itself,
right?
He's already like a super upgrade to what you have at linebacker. But I went back to watch some previous years when Cincinnati's D line was like that for real.
Sure.
When he's running free, he's even better.
Right.
We'll talk about that a little bit later, Brian, bro. Let's just watch this again one time. He's just gonna identify that's him right there, 55, and come down and just make a play on the ball carrier there. I want to talk about some real fast, Brian. Real quick, I want to talk about some Cowboy stuff real quick. Not scheme right now. I'm going to go back and talk about scheme in a little bit. But, Brian, I am pleasantly surprised with Donovan Ezeraku.
Sure.
Donovan Ezeraku stepping up, and some of those things, you remember it was like a little theory, like a little Illuminati theory floating around. And, man, why ain't he using all those moves that we saw in camp? He's saving stuff.
Yeah.
I just think the speed of the game is just faster.
Do you think the learning curve was a little bit steeper than we thought it might be? Because I was pretty adamant that he had all the traits. He knew how to rush the passer and all that stuff. Sure. I felt like the curve was going to be small, but maybe I was wrong about that.
I think the curve is just kind of what it is right now, Brian.
Okay.
I don't think we can overestimate the curve or under, because I mean at the end of the day he is a rookie into the league going against grown men that have been doing this, but some rookies wouldn't even get it this year.
Right.
Some rookies, it takes multiple. I think about a guy like Doin Armstrong. It took Doin Armstrong 3-4 years to get serviceable, and now he's like kind of good, right?
Sure.
Man, I'm looking at a move like this, man. Oh my goodness! Cross shot, fire off the line of scrimmage, bam, athletic, smooth, dip at the end, Brian, bro. Like that's some of the stuff we were seeing in camp.
Right.
That's some stuff that he was hitting Guyton with. You know what I mean?
Right.
So now I'm at a point to where if I'm flusing them, Brian, we need to make a decision about all this heavy rotation stuff.
Right.
I'm only taking Ezeraku and Clowney off the field if there's like some breathing that need to happen.
Right.
Besides that, these guys need to be on the field. One more time. Cross chop, bam, and just easily. This is where the nuance comes from.
Right.
This is where the Boise State guy comes from. I don't just cross chop and run upfield.
Right.
I'm gonna cross chop and
close that shoulder. Yeah,
I'm gonna get flat, Brian. I'm gonna dip that shoulder, make myself skinny. As a blocker, you want to get in my frame.
Yeah,
I want to get my frame away from you. This perfect technique.
Right,
he's getting his frame away from the blocker.
Yeah.
Okay, boom, continue to dip. Ugh. Then he's just going to jump on his back for no reason, Brian, bro. Yeah. I think we can expect a whole bunch from Donovan moving forward. Go ahead.
Yeah, Beacham had no opportunity right there. We've seen before where Donovan's had problems where he's allowed the offensive tackles to get hands on him. Mm-hmm. That case right there, really great job of making that work.
Man, Bryan Broaddus.
You're going to show me. You're going to show me a new defensive tackle, aren't you?
I don't know if this dirty grass or what, but it don't matter. I'm still going to be.
Usually this grass in Tampa is pretty good.
Hey man, look, it don't matter. look, because Quinnen Williams tearing up the grass.
Yeah, tearing up the grass, right?
Man, the Cowboys got a new defensive tackle. Man, I hear everybody's going to hear takes. TV, radio, podcast, whatever. Look, let's just pause the film and just talk for a second, if you don't mind. Quinnen Williams is a guy, ladies and gentlemen. This dude is a dude. He's violent. He's going to control the line of scrimmage. He has pop in his hands. He's going to whoop everything in front of him. 99 percentile run game guy. That means he's like the best run game dude in the whole damn league at his position, and he's on your team right now. And just in terms of pass rush, like he's much better of a pass rusher than what you've had at like Mozzie. Like think about this, Brian. When Kenny Clark comes off the field, Mozzie comes on the field.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And there,
I don't care how they figure it out. I don't care what they do to figure it out. This dude is a dude. All right, let's get back to the film real quick. This dude is a dude, Bryan Broaddus. Let's just break down Quinnen Williams real quick. We ain't doing nothing else. What you're going to see is immediate snap in the hands and power, Bryan. You're going to see a lot of people try to get on him.
Yeah. Boy, he just destroyed the blocker.
He's so comfortable in there, Bryan.
Right.
You know, we got some guys to where if you getting bumped from different directions, you may panic a little bit, or even better, you may go backwards. Bryan, look at all these bodies on Quinnen Williams. I just want everybody to look at Quinnen real fast. Let's see how far backward Quinnen goes with three bodies kind of engaging with him. The answer is he don't.
He don't.
He don't go backwards at all. Yeah. And that's who he's been. So I kind of have a hard time with some of these guys that I'm listening to and watching on TV. Like they seem like they haven't watched this guy. And this is considered a down year for Quinnen Williams. That could be changing the defense with Aaron Glenn, or it just could be that the other talent around him, you know, not the same or whatever. But Quinnen is coming into a Dallas Cowboys football team with Kenny Clark and also Diggy Zua. Yeah. I think that means something, Bryan Broaddus. I just want to go through this slowly one more time. Quinnen off the line of scrimmage. First and foremost, violence. Boom. He's standing up two grown men right now.
He is.
Somebody's got to come off, but it is what it is. It's going to be another guy that's going to kind of interfere. That dude's going to bounce off Quinnen. He's going to bounce off of him.
Right.
Quinnen Williams is so controlled. His base is so strong.
Right.
He's not being moved, but what's the best part about he's still got his eyes in the backfield.
Yes.
He's so not concerned about blockers dealing with him right now. He's looking for ball carriers right now. So when it's time to get rid of people, he gets rid of people whenever he wants. Right now, bam. I want y'all to look at this damn disengagement. This is of the gods. The football gods sent you one. Look at this disengagement. Get off. Play on the ball carrier. Hey, man, listen. I know it's some tomfoolery takes going around right now. Everybody that watches film
understands.
They understand Quinnen Williams, the damn Dallas Cowboys, and what that means. Please.
Yeah. You know, I think to me when you watch, you talk about, I was studying him against the Pittsburgh Steelers in week one. I was just kind of interested to see how they blocked him.
Yes, sir.
Same violence. You see him, you see his ability like to play with the hands, not get moved, not get affected. You know, sometimes you see these guys, they get really upright and then they get moved. We've seen that way too much from the Cowboys this year with some guys getting moved out of the hole. This guy, you don't do that. And he splits double teams. That's just not a one-time thing.
Yes, sir.
You can watch, like I said, in week one against the Steelers, you see the same violence and ability to split double teams like that.
I also watched Pittsburgh. We didn't watch it together, but I also watched Pittsburgh.
Sure.
They tried to block him one-on-one.
They did.
It ain't worked.
It didn't work.
They say this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
So now let's go to doubles. And then he started breaking down doubles.
Right.
I want to say if you look up stuffs, I want to say like Kenny Clark may have like 3 this year.
Yeah.
Osa may have like 2.
Yeah.
And he's got 14
Yeah.
stuffs by himself.
Yeah.
He may have more stuffs than your whole I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the number. Quinnen Williams, ridiculous. All right. How do we make all these guys work?
Yep.
Bryan Broaddus, how do we fit them all in there together? The real answer is we just can't be afraid to rotate guys.
Right.
That's the real answer. I don't mind keeping your even front because there's a portion of football world that believes that the best teams have these stout 4-man fronts, so you can be able to stop the run with 4. It's a common talking point that's old as dirt of you're really good if you can rush the passer with 4.
Right.
It's some common football, analytics and all this kind of stuff. I'm newly into them, Bryan. If you can stop the run with 4,
right,
then your world kind of opens up a little bit, right? So let's take a look at this. What we got up here, Bryan Broaddus. Think about this. The Cowboys got a bunch of guys in the box right now, right? I just want to highlight Marquise Bell right here.
Mm-hmm.
Marquise Bell stepped down in the box because you feel like you got to bring guys down into the box to be able to deal with the run game stuff. I think this is what Quinnen Williams would allow you to do. I think Quinnen Williams can allow on even front plays. I told y'all to write this down. This would be on the test. We talked about even fronts a couple weeks ago, so we ain't got to go over it again because y'all be paying attention because I know that y'all are fantastic. Bryan, if Quinnen Williams, Oso Digizua, it could be Solomon Thomas on a rundown sometimes.
Sure.
I don't care. Kenny Clark, right? A combination of guys down bottom and whatever defensive end you want. However we decide to do it,
right,
you ain't got to have an extra safety down.
Right.
You really ain't got to have an extra cat right there.
Right.
You can have 4 down guys, 3 of them can be big, and you can actually work 2 linebackers out there and then drop everybody in coverage. What happens sometimes, Bryan, is teams will play this game of chicken with Dallas.
Yeah.
We can stop the run if we load the box.
Right.
But if we load the box, they'll pass the ball.
They'll pass the ball. Yeah.
But if we run everybody back in coverage, maybe we can muddy a look to win that.
Sure.
But we won't be good versus the run.
Right.
Cowboys have been losing chicken like that all year, Bryan Broaddus. I think you finally have an opportunity where you can put big guys in the middle and kind of deal with that. So let's take a look at this right here. This is Kenny Clark. Let's just say that they do run this 4-3 lookout, Brian, because this is what I would kind of call it. You would call it 3 down linemen,
right?
2 guys that would be 20 backers and 2 defensive ends standing up right there. Like I said, Marquise Bell, in this particular situation, we got help. I wouldn't even put you there. Yep. So just these guys that we have, this is what a 4-3 front would look like, Brian. If it's up to Voch, just me, this is Kenny Clark. I'll make that Quinnen Williams. And you'll see like small adjustments can be made. In normal 4-3s, Brian, they're like 5 techs. These are really just 2 3 techs right here, right? These are just 2 B-gap players. I'll take it.
That's playing like what we call a 4-eye.
4-eye, for sure.
4-eye, yeah.
The inside shoulder
tackle.
Yeah.
The eye is what it is, the eye,
sir.
yeah.
So you can have Quinnen at 0.
Right.
You don't want Osa in the middle at all like that. You don't want Osa head up over your center.
No.
Unless you're doing something funky. But Osa and Kenny Clark can be your 4-eye 3-tech guys.
Right.
You can even cheat Osa out a little bit because he's explosive. He can run a little bit.
Right.
These outside guys, so first of all, let me say this too. The Cowboys tried this look versus Denver. That's Clowney. I don't want Clowney in B-gap.
Right.
I don't want Clowney in B-gap. Clowney's like 240. Put somebody that's 315 in there.
Yeah.
That's better for me. Now, Clowney can be right there.
Oh, there you go. Which he's comfortable. He's more comfortable playing as that stand-up guy.
Standing up, working outside. Donovan Ezeraku could be your outside guy.
Right.
Leave him there.
Which he did at Boston College.
1,000% Bryan Broaddus. And your 2 linebackers are going to be Overshown and Logan Wilson. And that can be what your 3-4 look could be like.
Right.
But Brian, on that note, this still is technically a 4-3 if you look at it like that. It's just that this guy is adjusted from being a 1-tech into a 0 over the center. And you just got your 3 right here, like a under 3. This would be an under 3.
Right.
So just in case people don't understand, I just want to talk about this for a second. And I just want to make that like that so Zach can see it in the back right there. I want to talk about over and under 3s right now.
Right.
People probably hear this a lot, over 3, under 3.
Right.
Offenses have strengths.
Right.
Defenses more than likely react to that. Right. So wherever the tight end or the most receivers are, that's the offense's strength. So if I'm the defense, we'll go that strong left because that's the defense's left, but the offense is right.
Right.
They'll go strong left. So what'll happen is at strong left, more than likely, a 3-tech defensive tackle is going to be shaded towards the tight end.
Tight end side.
And that's called an over tackle.
Right.
And just to help y'all remember that, you can think the 3-tech is over there by the strength. Right. So that's an over tackle. We used to hear Marinelli and them talk about under tackles all the time. That'll be if the strength is to the defense's left, like this tight end here, but he's under. So it'll be boom, a tackle right there.
Right.
He's on the opposite side away from the strength,
right.
right? So you can play around 4-3 over, 4-3 under. It'll be a 3-4 in theory, but it's all the same thing for real, for real. So I'm just saying this, Brian, people don't have to overthink this stuff.
Right.
A 4-3 and a 3-4 over 3-4, it's all really the same stuff. It's all about just shading guys over a little bit. In this situation right here, and like I said, we're going to pretend like Marquise Bell don't exist because we don't need him.
Right.
I think that's a hell of a front for the Cowboys right now to make that work.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, though. I love the way, though, that it looks like to me that and you're right about Dallas and having to play more guys in the box, but now you got guys that are better equipped. Like I say, Clowney plays the run well. You talk about Quinnen Williams, the way he plays the run. Ezeraku has shown that he can play the run. Yeah. Kenny Clark is a run player. So those things will all help you going forward for sure.
We didn't necessarily have to see the actual play, Brian, because the Cowboys out here looking terrible. But they even did this last week versus the Cardinals, right? You can look at it and say that it's a 3-4, but hey, this is the tight end is boom. Tight end is here, so we say, hey, that's kind of where they're. They've
actually, this is like 13 personnel because they got a tight end left, but then they got the extra blocker, which they've been running the majority of the game. So
if it's 2 tight ends on one side and one on the other side, they will say that strength is over there.
Right.
So if that's the case, then this is your over tackle because he's over there by the strength. This would be a 1-tech, but you can play with the looks. Cheat him over. Bring this guy, let him be 4-eye guy. Stand up right there. Same thing.
Right.
I don't think we got to overthink this stuff. And the Cowboys got a long bye week to figure this out. I got a question for Brian. I got one more look I kind of want to share with you, Brian. What would you call that look?
That well, the motion. We'll see because you got the
I moved the motion. I think
extra. We got well. They're trying to balance you out here, but I think I would call that a over. That would be over. Yeah.
I don't disagree at all.
Yeah.
But my center eyes made me think about something.
When that motion went across, did it do something to you?
Because at center, we had to identify the fronts.
Right.
You know how I would identify this, Brian? I would identify this as there's your zero.
Yeah.
There's a mic. You got a end and
Right.
your linebackers that were up there, they walked there.
Yeah.
And I would say that this guy doesn't exist. That's like a 3-3 stack almost.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just that they walked those guys down a little bit. And the key to me saying that is just the one lone backer. Well, pardon me. The one lone backer here, and I would consider 50 James as like too far for us to kind of be thinking about him immediately.
Okay, I see.
I would look at that as a 3-3 stack.
So you're saying the 3-3 because of the two outside guys standing up and then Murray in the middle. Okay, yep. But you're not including James in the configuration.
That's somebody else. That could be for this purpose. That could be tight ends guy.
Right.
Brian, there's a ton of looks that the Cowboys have been messing around with.
Right.
I don't think that they did this on purpose to kind of whatever. And I wonder, do you think that they kind of doing this to get Solomon Thomas more involved? Do you think that they wanted to get more defensive tackles involved in general?
Yeah, I think though when if you ask people in the organization, even after they made this trade, if you ask people, you're like, well, hey, who odd man out? Well, they don't look at it as odd man out. They look at getting all their best players on the field. So I don't think this is going to be one of those things where all of a sudden you're seeing guys that are not going to be like, okay, well, we're going to get rid of. Now, maybe JT, maybe he doesn't dress. Maybe there's some guys the way to kind of get around it. Sure. But I don't think they're interested in moving on. I think they're interested in taking all their guys and trying to do more things just like you talked about there.
Now, Brian, I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning pulling this content, man, but this is my favorite thing to do.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you for having me.
Well, thank you.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, thank you. And that was great stuff, by the way, though. Got an idea of some of the things from the Arizona game, some of the things that were positive from that. I know it was a loss and all that, but I think there were some things you can take away from that defensively, and also too, to be able to get an idea about your new linebacker and your defensive tackle, I think is a huge thing as well. And then maybe how you go forward with that. I think, Voch, thank you for educating us on all that stuff. And we thank you guys for joining us here on the Scouts Eye. Make sure you're checking out all our content on our website on Crown Global Media. My content, Voch's content. We've got everything for you there. We've got everything where all our social platforms are. We've also got our merchandise stuff there. If you're so inclined, please give that a look, and it's kind of a one-stop shop for you. So for my guy Voch Lombardi, I'm Bryan Broaddus. We'll see you next time on the Scouts Eye.